What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now, I want to talk to you all a little bit about what's happening with Solana's price right now, because it just made an extremely important move that you need to watch closely. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. Now, looking at Solana here, let's recap where things have been and where things are at right now, just so we can get a bit of an idea of what to expect going forward. So, as you all know, we have been tracking very closely the movements that Solana has had over the last couple months. We've been talking about the fact that Solana had been stuck within this consolidation area range, and I told you all that the only way that we will actually start to see Solana's price make some growth is once we clear this green box. I said this green box is going to serve as a major point of resistance, but once we're able to clear it and put it behind us, it could act as a bit of a launch pad to send us up towards the upside, maybe even catapulting us into the $300 range. Now, in the process of trying to break out of this green box, quite recently we've been talking more about the fact that Solana had created an inverse head and shoulders. We tracked the fact that it made the inverse head and shoulders, broke out of it, came back down, flipped that resistance into some support, and is now using that support to climb upwards. And I told you all, as this support establishment did happen, that this could be the moment that we're looking for Solana's price to clear this green box, and from there that you needed to watch very closely, because this could be the beginning of something beautiful. And what do you know, here we are, Solana is now making the move towards the green box, and as you can see, something just happened. What we can see here is that Solana's price got a wick above the green box, and today I'm going to explain why this is important, what it could mean, and what I'm expecting to come next. So now that you are all caught up, let's talk about what happens next. And guys, don't forget, if you do want to trade a little bit of Solana on up to 500x leverage, although I don't recommend 500x leverage, if you want to trade it on up to 500x leverage, you can use that BTCC link down in the description below. The coolest part is you don't need the KYC, meaning you don't have to give them your personal info. You also don't need to use a VPN. You can just sign up and start trading. And the coolest part about it is, guys, I got a very insane deal for you all, to where you're going to get a 10% deposit bonus on all deposits above $500. This means that if you put in, say, $3,000, they're going to give you $300 to trade with. And say if you turn that into $10,000 or $1,000 or $2,000, you keep that yourself. It's absolutely insane. On top of that, you're going to get up to $10,000 in bonuses in addition to that, and an SVIP for 40% lower trading fees, all through that affiliate link to BTCC down in the description below. So please don't miss out on that. It's absolutely insane deal. I do a lot of trading here, especially recently, so feel free to go check that out and let me know your thoughts. Now, moving forward, as I mentioned before, what comes next? That's the big question. What comes next here? Why is this important? So what I've come to recognize with Solana is that whenever Solana starts to create resistance zones, okay, or even liquidity zones, this can count towards the bottom side, but not so much. It's usually more towards the top side, especially in a bull market. But what I've come to recognize is that in instances in which Solana's price is hitting a resistance zone, every single time that Solana's price hits that resistance zone, the more likely it is to break through it. And if Solana's price wicks through a resistance zone, it's almost a guarantee that even if Solana's price pulls back a little bit, that it will inevitably break through that resistance zone. That's just what history shows. And if we do take that history and then apply it to what we are seeing right now, that means that not only is the fact that Solana's price reaching this green box again extremely important, because it's weakening this green box, but on top of that, the fact that we have now seen Solana's price wick above this green box means that we've now opened up this door. And although this door may not be wide open, and we may see Solana's price roll back to the downside, there's no guarantee we're going to go up right here. The door is open. And so even if we do see Solana's price start to roll back towards the downside, I think there's a very substantial chance that we see Solana's price hold some support and use that support to continue upwards and surpass this green box in the macro move that we are in right now. I don't think we're going to see Solana's price, unless something catastrophic happens in the world, come back down to $120. I think this is the move to get us above this green box. It may just look a little bit different, right? It may not look how we think. It could look something like that. You never truly know, but it doesn't really matter, because the moment that this happened, it unlocked the door to making that move back towards the upside. I've said it rather consistently and frequently here on the channel that I do think that it's possible for Solana's price to push into the $500 to $600 range one day. It wouldn't shock me whatsoever if we do see that even sometime next year, and because of that, it is the next step to get there. If we're going to see Solana's price truly setting new all-time highs, pushing into $355 to $400, we're going to need to clear this green range, and we're going to need to use the foundation that we're building on top of this macro resistance zone, flip this resistance into support, and use that support to catapult back up towards the upside. downside. So this little moment right here is extremely important, more than anyone realizes and anyone's talking about right now. And even if Solana's price does start to roll to the downside here in the short or the midterm, I'm really not stressing it, because again, I do think the higher low will be established, and we will eventually and inevitably now come back up and clear this level. So we've unlocked the door to breaking out of this dang on annoying green zone that we've been stuck under since March of this year, and this could be the dang on beginning of something absolutely beautiful for Solana. So I'm gonna leave it there for you. I'm gonna pay very close attention to what's happening with Solana. It does seem as if that we are at risk of a short-term pullback, and if that does begin, I'll start to let you know what I'm doing and what I'm thinking. So make sure you turn on those notifications. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I cannot wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.